Rules Committee to order. And Senator Dolezal, if you'll lead us off in prayer.
Lord, thank you for the gift of being alive today and able to serve your people. Pray that we would do so with wisdom and humility, and that you would continue to bless our steps. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. So, in standing committee, we have SB 395, Senator Kirkpatrick. If you'd like to deliver your
Thank you.
address right there.
For those of you who don't know what this is about, the cannabis cards are produced by the Department of Public Health. The application goes through there, but the enforcement goes through the medical board. And currently, they don't have a data sharing agreement, so they can't share information. So the program is, there's a gap in there. There was some other stuff in this bill when we passed out of committee, and on talking with Ledge Council and working on it some more, it turns out that that's already in the law. And so the only part that's left in this bill is the part about the communication between the boards. That's it.
Okay. Are there any questions? All right, go ahead, Senator Cowser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator, in your original bill, at lines 19 to 21, you asked for the board to confirm that a physician had a doctor-patient relationship with their person they've given the card to, and that they were treating them for a specific condition that was listed. Why have you removed that? That seemed like good policy, and there was no objection to that in Health Committee.
It is good policy. It's also already in the code.
Okay.
And I can give you the citation if you want it.
So you don't need it because we already got it somewhere else?
Exactly.
Thank you.
And I think the point is more, we're going to have more emphasis on the enforcement side of it.
Right.
If there's a problem, which there clearly is, because, we know of one doctor out of a
New
different
York.
state, New York, that's issued a couple thousand licenses.
Almost 4,000
And
people.
kind of hard to believe someone out of New York has a relationship with that many
Exactly.
patients. So, okay. Any other questions? What's the will of the committee?
Do pass.
Got a motion do pass from the chairman, in which the bill came out of. By substitute. LC 52, that's right, 1012S, as in Sierra. So I got a motion from my vice chairman. I got a second from the minority whip. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All right, motion carries unanimous. All right. We're going to end that meeting. And we're going to start a new one. All right, we're in our Rules Calendar Committee meeting. Got a lot of bills today. Committee chairs are doing good work, getting us some good bills. All right, first up, we have SB 261. Senator Harbin, you may approach the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the man from Coweta County. We pass on the highway together, do we not?
We do. I'd probably pass you, but
I thought I was driving faster.
you
Okay.
probably leave before me, but I'll pass you anyway.
This is a bill for the magistrate judges. It does not involve any state funds at all. It is simply changes in their retirement plan. It changes the makeup of the board. It also increases the membership dues. It also allows for early retirement at 65, but with a reduction for each year earlier than 60, a 3% reduction. And then it changes the multiplier effect, but there's no dollar effect upon the state at all. And it also has got the actuarial certification that it does not affect the quality of the plan and the stability of the plan.
Okay. Got a question here from Chairman Cowser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess it's my day to ask questions. You
Yes, sir.
said two things there. can they now retire before 65?
Yes.
So that,
What
what's the
this
change
does,
then?
this moves it to 55, but 60 was the normal. And what happens if you do that, there's a 3% reduction for each year you retire earlier than 60.
As of today, can I follow? As of
Absolutely.
today, you can retire at age 60?
Correct.
And what's 65 got to do with it?
Does not, in this bill, that's not addressing that, that piece.
Maybe you said 55.
55.
Okay, so it's 60 today, and now you, if
Going to
this passes, you
55,
can get
but a
55.
3% reduction each year that you do that prior to 60. So someone that, let's say, does 5 years, they've got a 15% overall reduction, 3% per year.
All right, any further questions? All right, good job.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Senator Hatchett, you got two bills. You can cover them both, Senate Bill 384 and Senate Bill 398.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
384 we've heard, so you can be brief.
Yeah, 384 is a bill that will allow consumers in Georgia, when they go to get their tag for the vehicle, to purchase a 5-year tag instead of a 1-year tag.
I do have a question on that.
Okay?
What about in areas where you're part of the MPO as required by federal law and you got to take the emissions test yearly? How will that work?
So I work closely over the past 6 months with the Department of Revenue and the Department of Driver Services. When you buy a 5-year tag, it's completely optional. And what you do when you buy the 5-year tag is you opt in automatically to an electronic notification, and you still will have to fulfill the requirement to get your emissions tested. And if you don't, you'll be electronically notified that your tag is expired. So the rules don't change. The only thing that changes is that if you choose the 5-year tag, you will opt into the electronic notification system.
Okay, Senator Gann, you got a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator, one of the things that people have really good driving records around Atlanta, and I always worry when I get here, am I going to be able to drive my vehicle for 5 years? So because somebody might take it out in an accident. What happens in that case with when you bought a 5-year tag? You buy another vehicle? Does it go to the new vehicle? How does that work?
So there are already laws on the books right now. If you were to be in a car accident now, you'll be able to transfer your tag to the new car you purchase if it's the same type of vehicle. This does not change that. If you have a 5-year tag and it's in an accident in year 3, you buy a new car that's the same kind. You know, you don't buy a commercial vehicle. If you have a regular vehicle, you will be able to transfer it, yes.
And if somebody eliminates a vehicle, you know, in their fleet or in their thing, what happens with that? They just lose the money?
There are no refunds. That's right. You choose to opt in, and you know, you pay $120 instead of $20, and you don't get a refund if you decide to drop a vehicle.
Is there a discount for buying a volume?
There are no
in essence,
discounts.
5 years versus one at a time?
No, you pay the same rate. It's completely optional, and it's honestly just a convenience.
The discount is the time you save going to the DMV
Yep.
if you don't do it online, which is available. Senator Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So can you just help me understand this? So would you just automatically get a sticker in the mail when renewal comes? Like how would that process work? Or does the tag, I'm just wondering for law enforcement purposes or tag readers, how will they know that your tag is valid and that you've done the emissions check if you're in an emissions check location?
So it would not change the system at all as it is. The only thing that would change is instead of having a green, there's like a rotation of colors for the year. This will have its own standalone color.
Got it.
It's completely up to the Department of Revenue, but I have requested, at the request of my daughters, that it be hot pink.
Love it. And then to the emissions piece, though, how would a law enforcement officer know by looking at the tag that you've complied with the yearly emissions?
Same way they do now.
No, right now they look at the color of your tag and they see that you have an expired tag, which then prompts them to do their other checks. But if your tag's not going to expire, then there would be no, if they don't have a visible signal to say, oh, this tag is expired, I better check to see if they did their emissions test. There's no visible thing there to
I see what you're saying. So In that case, they would have to go off of their tag readers, which I think a lot of them do now. I think the color system now, while it is used, I don't think it's the primary system that law enforcement officers use now.
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay?
Senator Robertson.
To Senator Noel's correct. Everything's electronic. It goes into the system. You could lose the sticker and all this. The tag readers read the tag, go into the system, tell us whether the tag is good or inactive, and based on what the senator testified to, if you refused or failed to get the emissions, they would suspend the tag in the system. Therefore, when the tag reader read it, it would show the tag as suspended.
That's right. Yep.
So that hot pink, would it be a hunter safety hot pink?
I think that's fluorescent.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
But it could be.
All right, let's move on to SB 398.
Okay, SB 398 is a bill that would create a felony for someone to take a photograph of a real person and use AI to generate pornographic or obscene material.
Okay. Questions? Senator Cowser, you look like you kind of itchy today. I like it. I like it. Senator Cowser's watching. That's a warning for all y'all about to come before this distinguished committee. All right, no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Hatchett. Senator Burns. How are you today, Mr. Chairman?
I'm doing very well, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. Committee, we've looked at this before. It's Senate Bill 400. It's an agency bill from the Georgia Non-Public Post-Secondary Education Commission. It expands their ability to protect Georgia students. It provides some protections for the Tuition Guarantee Trust Fund and for student records. I'd appreciate your favorable consideration. Let's get it on the floor and get it out of here.
Any questions? Senator Cowser? All right.
All right.
All right. I just want to give
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You get first right of refusal today. All right. Senator Goodman. Well, hold on. Let me cue up your walk-up music. Okay, it's done.
I was hoping for a little bit of Elvis, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill
He
435.
left the building.
He's left the building. He has. This simple name change bill, and it's really something that is correcting a mistake that
I did.
the legislature made 66 years ago. And I can go into detail on that if anybody would like. But at any rate, we're simply adding agriculture back into the naming of the Georgia Development Authority. It was originally the Georgia Livestock Development Authority. And if you want me to explain why we're doing this or what the mistake was, I'm glad to. Or
I don't, but does anybody else? Senator Cowser? Okay. All right. He's queued up. Any questions? All right, we're good. Thank you. All right, and I didn't mean to, but SB 405, I accidentally skipped that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. SB 405 is a bill that takes the maximum threshold for claims in small claims court from $15,000 and allows claims up to $50,000. This was changed the last time 28 years ago. It was changed in 1998 session. Last time it was tripled from 5 to 15,000. And what it simply does is citizens of ours need to be able to represent themselves in small claims court without hiring an attorney. Allows regular individuals to represent themselves. Right now, people who have a $25,000, $30,000 claim, they have to spend $10,000, $15,000 for legal counsel to solve an issue. This allows them to put facts in front of the judge and get something solved in a streamlined process. That's what it does.
Okay. Yeah, Senator Cowser, I know you have a question.
I've got a couple for you, if you don't mind,
Please.
Senator. I missed the vote in judiciary, but in our folders was a letter from the state court judges opposing the bill. And they said they opposed the bill last year, raising it from 15 to 25,000. Some of them opposed anything, but a lot of them opposed going to 50 because your insurance only covers up to 25, your minimum insurance. And these judges, a lot of them aren't even lawyers, so you're not getting a jury trial, and you might be personally held responsible for, $25,000 above your own insurance.
Well, I mean, the question is, first of all, magistrate court judges make determinations on probable cause on murder cases. And these are not people that are just, Little League baseball coaches and don't have any legal background. These are former law enforcement officers. In the case they're not attorneys, they have an intimate understanding of our system. There's not a specific requirement because some communities choose to use, again, law enforcement folks versus attorneys to be magistrate court judges. But they're making probable cause determinations on murder and felony cases. So these are not legal neophytes for sure. But what it is it allows folks to come in and bring in a fact-specific case to put the facts before a judge. Right now, no matter how simple or how fact-specific it is, you cannot bring any claim above $15,000. Now, state court judges I can't get inside their thinking about caseload. I think if it decreases their caseload, I think that's probably not a bad thing. But I will tell you right now that to have to secure an attorney is a big cost for a homeowner. One very important thing for members to understand, too, that we didn't have time to talk about this in committee, is as a business owner, if you have an LLC that owns a house, you may not represent yourself pro se in state court. No matter how simple it is, you can't go and put a case in front of a judge in state court, even as an LLC. It's prohibited by law. You can do that in magistrate court. If it is a fact-specific case, it allows a streamlined process to happen. I think it's very important for access to justice. Doesn't pay attorneys. It allows individuals to represent themselves.
One follow-up. You may be aware that in magistrate courts, you're not allowed to conduct discovery. You can't send interrogatories or requests for production of documents or take depositions to prepare for trial. You can't learn about previous medical conditions, about what medical treatment somebody received, for example, in a personal injury case. So you're basically going in there blind and now being held up to $50,000 responsible without a jury. And these magistrates, by the way, they don't give a verdict on those killers. They just say there's probable cause to go to a jury.
Correct, but you also understand that if there's every case that goes to magistrate court is appealable to a state or a superior court. So if there are evidentiary concerns the judge says, wait, I can't sort this out. I'm not comfortable with the documents that are put in front of me. That can get kicked to state and superior court easily. The challenge is, though, on simple cases above a certain dollar threshold, no matter how simple they are, they cannot be adjudicated without going to those higher courts. And that costs a lot of money for people to solve very simple things.
You want to be in court all day. You got another follow-up?
I'll save them for the floor if it makes it.
And so I felt like we addressed every single question the state court judges raised. And again, I've had magistrate court judges call me off the record that they weren't speaking for their circuit for themselves publicly. They said, "Yeah, this is the right thing. This is the right thing to do." There's a lot of cases. I mean, you take somebody. The average cost of a car is $50,000 now. You take somebody who's trying to get their house renovated, the roofing and siding on their house. The contractor walks off and doesn't deliver the job. You have to go to state court to solve a roofing issue dispute if you're getting a roof put on your house. Shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to go to a small claims court and make that claim, and all we're doing is changing the dollar threshold.
Senator Robertson, then Senator Jackson.
Senator Setzler, I want to start out by saying I like your bill.
Yeah.
Remind me, what's the current threshold cap in state court on civil?
Well, for magistrate court,
No, state court.
the state court level above what we're talking about, I don't even know that threshold.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Senator Jackson.
I don't think there's a cap. Yeah.
This question's, may I ask Senator Cowser since he brought this up, or can I only ask him? I'll ask him and let's see
You
who
can
can
ask
answer the question.
him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then he
So-
can tell him something, and then he can ask.
So there was a question about raised around insurance for, I assume magistrate judges are only covered up to $25,000. So I just want to be clear before I get in trouble in DeKalb County. Are there any magistrate judges who have been on the record saying that they are in support of this bill, and have any of them named the issue around insurance and how they might fill that gap?
No, let me be very clear. I have not stated specific magistrate court judges in public support. That's why I was very clear about that. I've had individuals come to me and tell me this is I'm on exactly the right track.
But there's none on the record.
Not that they wouldn't. I've not asked them to, but there's there are none on the record that have said, hey, this because this is not a court opinion.
So,
What's that?
For it or against it?
They've not. I've not asked them to comment on it. I don't want to create a war between judicial groups. This is an issue that comes on behalf of constituents. Out to your question of insurance, a false premise was put out there that said, well, wait a minute, insurance is only at this level for car insurance, therefore we should be limited to that. That's tying back to something, there was some discussion 28 years ago. Hey, what's the threshold for the minimum threshold for car insurance? We need to create some linkage there. That's a false linkage. This is not about what the maximum amount or the minimum amount of car insurance is for a motorist. It's, for me, what's the cost of a car? The average car is about $50,000 now. The cost of putting a roof and siding on your house is around $50,000. Those kinds of things, folks ought to be protected from. If they're screwed by somebody, a contractor putting a roof on or siding on their house faulty, they ought to be able to go to small claims court, lay very simple facts out, and get a ruling without hiring an attorney for $15,000.
Senator, have you ever heard of Right Said Fred?
No, sir.
He's a old singer. When you said it was the right thing to do, I thought about calling you Right Said Ed.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? All right. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Senator Kirkpatrick, SB 444.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a consumer protection bill. It has to do with prior authorization. And it says that if AI is used, a human clinical peer must be part of the process before an adverse determination. That's all it does.
Any questions? Hearing none. Okay. Representative Seabald, did you have something?
I don't see it on the sheet, but I'm happy to present two bills.
It's up to you. I'll allow. Just be brief because you're not on the sheet. But it's never too early to lobby.
I've got House Bill 61. It's a Squatter Reform Act. It clarifies Georgia law to close loopholes exploited by criminal squatters and bad actors. The bill protects lawful tenants and paying hotel guests while restoring clear authority for property owners and law enforcement to address unlawful occupancy. Appreciate your full consideration on that.
All right. Thank you, sir. Just so you kind of know the status, we're kind of focusing on Senate bills just because we got a shot clock.
I understand.
Y'all's do not at the moment, but we are sprinkling in some House bills, so
Okay.
you can never too early to be lobbying the committee. Thank you.
I've got one more if I can.
You might want to hold it.
All right.
Let's not press our luck. All right,
Thanks,
let's
sir.
pick a few. All right, we left off. Did he use his ding ding? He used it. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. All right, Senator Gooch.
But I like my ag people so much, I think I'll pick Senate Bill 435. My sweet mate back there.
435 for the Elvis impersonator. All right, 435. All right, Senator again.
I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I'm gonna pick SB 384 to get my tag for 5 years. Hopefully I can keep my car that long.
What if you pay for your Senate tag and then you lose? Has anybody thought about that? I mean, I was thinking about that. There might better be a two-year option. A little presumptuous if any of us go with a 5-year. Just saying. Floor amendment coming. All right, that's probably good for tomorrow. All right, I've got Senate Bill 384 and Senate Bill 435. What is the will of the committee? I got a motion from my vice chairman. I got a second from Senator Anderson. Is he still our secretary? Or we fired him? Okay. I ask that about every other meeting, don't I? Okay. We got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimous. Meeting adjourned.